It is officially December, and that means my first book will be something in a Christmas Eve theme. Hold on. I originally had posted that I was going to read The Gingerbread Bakery first, and I did read like the first 2 pages. Then I was like, hold on. Why are certain people in here already getting married? I'm like, am I missing something? So I did a little bit of research, and apparently, after Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, so the first was Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and then Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. This is actually the Christmas Tree Farm. And apparently, this is the last. So after this, there is still another, which is the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, before we head to the Gingerbread Bakery. Because I want things to make sense, I'm gonna stop and then start with this. Woo! So that is what I'm going to do, and I'm actually waiting for a meeting to start. I have about 11 minutes, and I'm going to see. Let's open this up first. Pretty sad because I opened up already the Gingerbread Bakery, and so it's not protected anymore. There we go. Throw this away. So we're going to be reading The Christmas Tree Farm. I thought this was going to be next, after Gingerbread Bakery, but because it is not, and I mean, what I was going to say is, I was going to read this days leading up to Christmas. For this type of book, I can finish this in a day because I did so with the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. And because they all kind of have the same feel, it's like fast reading because it's simplistic writing, which is still great, and romance. So I'm easily reeled in to just go through it, plow through it fast. There's not much my brain needs to process. So, but now that I'm going to start this, I guess this one will be the one leading up to Christmas. Granting, I can finish a few other books before Christmas and then save this for the last. Because I do want to read this one next. This is the Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wang. I wanted to read this first, but I was like, no, let me save her. Because I just finished reading Alchemize, and that was a lot of brain processing reading that. The magical system was very unorthodox. You've got necromancers and vivimancers, and you've got resonance and other things like that. And there was a lot of back and forth to kind of, well, not back and forth, just a lot of repeating myself to be able to understand and fully digest that system. So there was a lot of brain processing needed there. So that is why I'm going to relax my brain for a bit and read this before I dive into this, because apparently this is also a brain knocker, which is great. And what I love about this is also that it's just a one-off book. You know, it's not a series. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how this one will go. So yes, let us start with The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore. Like I said, I'm waiting for a meeting to start while we wait because I have spent so much of today working because there was a lot of things that I needed to get done. So I did that. My fault because, well, not fully, but I kind of put it off for other things that I thought needed to get done first. That is why I ended up kind of cramming a lot of the work that I needed to do today. So let's sit back and cozy up a bit and read this. Before we start, I was trying to get myself cozy, but yeah. Okay, meeting is about to start. I'm gonna start this meeting. I have just finished a round of meetings. I hopped on a meeting as early as 10:15 and it is now 1 a.m. Yep. I'm going to settle down and digress from all of the screen time with a good book, or at least this book. So, let's get into it. The Christmas Tree Farm, the magic starts here. I always like seeing the map of Dream Harbor. They have it in every book. And also a playlist. Now, I've personally never listened to anything from here. One of the tops is always Taylor Swift here. And then Sabrina Carpenter. So, if you read books, do you listen to music with it? I don't know if I can concentrate. I mean, if the point is to feel the ambience of the song while reading, I don't know if I can attentively listen to a song or a music or anything while reading a book. So, right, chapter 1. Okay, this opening line alone. Kira North hated Christmas, which was unfortunate considering she was currently the proud owner of a Christmas tree farm in a town that was far too cute for its own good. Like, come on, really? Up because something huge fell off our TV. There's the TV. Because we have a certain cat who jumped off from it. We hear stuff in that TV. I hope it will still work. And just when we started using it more often, because the kids play Just Dance on the Switch. Pao is taking a look right now to see if it will still work. Had a pause on the reading because my face was burning up. Like, it was very warm to touch and my head was pounding. So, I just fell asleep. I still find it pretty amazing that at least even the, what do you call this? The screen did not shatter.
Or the sides.
Or the sides. This is a really, really old TV. Like, I brought this TV from our original home. I mean, it was still from our original home. We moved and then I still brought it with me when I moved out. Look at that. There's the culprit. That's him. It's his fault. Laurie is surveying. And there's Abby. Sushi's sleeping. I hope it still works. I really do. I don't want to get a new TV. I like this TV. It works! It still works! Look at that. They don't make things this sturdy anymore. If this was one of the newer TVs, it would instantly break. I'm so happy it still works. But we need a new TV stand now. My mic has died and I have not charged it, so I'm just using out of the camera audio. I hope it's not too bad, but we're gonna continue on and read the Christmas tree farm. Okay, this is really funny to me. the way it was written. She slid down to the floor, her back against the door, and tore open the red and green cellophane protecting the cookies. She picked a Santa-shaped one and bit off his head. Unfortunately, he was absolutely delicious. All nutmeg and cinnamon. Damn him. Oh, okay, so she actually has a twin. Chloe. Interesting. I wonder if this Chloe actually likes Christmas versus her. This thing is really real, because if you have read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and now I'm reading this one too, kind of similar something. There's a narration in the Cinnamon Bun bookstore. You know, people are leaving where they originally come from and go to Dream Harbor because they want to do a restart on their life. So I'm gonna read this part of the book where it says, this whole plan wasn't so much a whim as it was a last-ditch effort to start over, to get as far away from her old life, her old self as possible. It wasn't a whim so much as a radical reimagining of who she'd wanted to be. Now, if you again read Pumpkin Spice Cafe, it mentioned that Ginny wanted to kind of redo her life after something horrible happened to her previous boss. I wonder if in real life there is a place where people go to do a restart. Well, I went here for kind of the same reasons where I live now. So, just wanted to share that. Okay. Well, apparently, they absorb too much homesteading, social media content, decide they can totally do that, use their trust fund money to buy a farm, and essentially ruin their lives. Okay, so maybe the specific plan was a little bit of a whim. Okay. That hit. I do want to do that. You know, seeing all these social media about living the unhurried life in a farm or buying a old rundown bookstore, things like that. How nice would that be though? Okay, so the guy finally comes into the story and she's having issues with her house because it's not set up. She just moved in. She doesn't even have Wi-Fi. This guy has dogs, and she loves dogs, but she doesn't like him. Apparently, she only likes baddies, sometimes with the actual tattoo on their head. This guy seems perfect, and she's not okay with that. But he said he's in tech. So, she was like, a tech bro. Oh, just what she needed. Always trust your first instincts, and her first instincts were right. She didn't need some Silicon Valley. Let's go for a hike wherever we damn well please because we think we own the whole world. Clark Kent look-alike. To rescue her. Not today, buddy. So we see that she basically tries to go for things that's not good for her. Maybe. Same with Christmas. She likes Christmas. food, but she doesn't like Christmas. Maybe she just has something internal conflicting. Oh, the guy is Ginny's brother. Ginny, again, is the main character in Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and she has a brother, Ben, and I'm guessing it's him because the guy mentioned is only here on vacation. And I remembered that Ginny did invite him to at least come by in Dream Harbor, so interesting. When somebody starts describing things like this, you're just in denial. This is now in the view of Bennett, actually. He says, yeah, he wasn't a big fan of the new Christmas tree farm owner, despite how cute she'd looked all wrapped up in that blanket and how bright her smile had been when she was petting his dogs. You already know you like that person. Okay, disclaimer. It says, Ben knew plenty of cute women and cute wasn't worth the trouble. I guess he's got trauma. It says here, in fact, all cute had gotten him in the past few months was roped into helping a woman he just met move out of her ex's apartment while the ex begged for forgiveness from the front porch. And other instances that they're basically narrating right now. The last thing he needed was another cute woman. He was done with cute women. Then look for beautiful women. Inside and out. Oh, Bennett joins them for their town meeting. It can get hectic, these town meetings. Is this a reference to Friends? Maybe. The rest of the meeting went by in blurred logistics, volunteering, arguing, and a very odd vote about whether or not Die Hard was a Christmas movie. If you watch Friends, you know why. Also, how fitting is Kira's name? Kira North. From the North Pole for Christmas. But she hates Christmas. Is she the Grinch who's going to be turned around? That's where my head is going. So they're explaining what happened with the Christmas tree farm before Kira North actually bought it. So it was owned by this man and wife, and apparently when the guy finally died, he left a note saying that he left something precious in the Christmas tree farm. But because the person, the cousin of Edwin, the old owner or the guy who died, was very strict about not allowing anybody to go there. They never really snooped around, and they think there's a dead body or possibly the wife that was murdered. These town hall meetings can be really crazy. Their imaginations go wild. I'm going to assume it's nothing that serious, I'm guessing. It's just them thinking that way. But yeah. The Christmas tree farm. Oh, and that they want Bennett because he's like a neutral, because he's just passing by Dream Harbor to go and check on Kira because she's resistant to everybody else in Dream Harbor. She kind of gets this feeling like, this town is just too annoying for my own good. So they're thinking that somebody neutral like Bennett to go up there and check in on her because, again, she barely gets out or doesn't even want to interact with the townsfolk. So that's where the story is leading up to. Okay, so they actually put the handle of the social media that Kira had set up for her social media. I wonder if this is real. Let's pause and take a look. At the Homestead Goddess and at Self-Sustained Living. It doesn't say what socials. I'm going to assume it's also on Instagram. Let's just take a look. The Homestead Goddess. Oh, wrong spelling. Okay, the Instagram account is alive, but it's absolutely empty. It has 3 followers though. I wonder if these are people who read the book. And let's look at the other one. Self-Sustained Living. Okay, no, it doesn't exist. The Homestead Goddess exists, but again, there's nothing in there. Let's continue on. Okay, so I just finished chapter 3. We're heading into chapter 4, but I'm going to pause to do a bit of journaling before I move forward for the day. So to make sure I have an entry. So I started this in November where I was journaling daily starting November 1. And that journal filled up. It's just a very thin notebook that has at least 30 pages so that I can journal at least 30 days. So in November, I only missed 2 days. So I'm hoping for the entire month of December, I don't miss any. So I'm going to pause to do this before we proceed. December 3 entry, initial entry in. So I bring this with me everywhere because throughout the day I will be writing. Sometimes I only get to write the first thing in the morning, typically when I wake up. And then the remaining days, either it gets too busy or I end up forgetting. This is why I needed to pause to make sure that I get something done in. Before we continue, I am going to do a bit more work because again, I fell asleep from my face just heated up and my head was pounding, so I slept. There were still some things I wanted to get done, which I did not get to. So I'm going to do those and then we'll proceed with this again after. Pausing here from work because something arrived today. A new set of books. So let's open this up. I like to open this as soon as it arrives as much as possible just to see if it's not a scam and see if we can return it. Okay. Okay, yes, it's from Fully Booked. It is actually heavy. My husband is pretty sus because he says it's pretty light.
For 5 books.
Apparently these are 5 books in here.
Okay, it's 5 books.
packaging on this. We're gonna keep the receipt because with fully booked, if you accumulate at what, 15,000 pesos? I think it's either you get something discounted or you get something free. I don't remember. Oh, here they are. 5 books. So I'm sure I've already shared how I already finished the Powerless series. So there was Powerless, there was Reckless, and then there was Fearless. So I got the, I would call novellas. We have Powerful and also Fearful.
Oh, it's a hardback.
Powerless story. This one is hardbound, and then this one is paperback. Woohoo! And we also got the series from Alex Astor. So we've got Nightbane, Light Lark, and Skyshade. I'm excited to start reading these. Oh my goodness. Another series of books. I've been following Alex Astor on Instagram and it seems very interesting, so can't wait. So we have these and these two. Series of books, you know? Man, this is going to be a lot because again, I'm currently reading this one. And after this, I am going to read Blood Over Bright Haven. Then after Blood Over Bright Haven, I might read the novellas first. Because I do my Miss Kane, and not Kane, Pay, and Kai. And then I'll probably head on to these. Just a girl who loves her books. Also, I like ordering from Fully Booked because it always comes with this. This ends up becoming a bookmark for me. So every time an order arrives, this comes with it. So I'm collecting more and more things to be able to make use of as a bookmark. I want to make a bookmark. I really like this material. I don't know how it's made. It's like a bookmark, but it's like soft finish. I'm wondering if they laminated plastic on this. I don't know. It's still like cardboard-ish, but smooth, like really smooth. And yeah, whatever this is, if anybody knows how to make this and make it at home, please let me know. I know I could probably look up around on YouTube, but it's different when somebody goes out of their way to actually tell how it's done. So, yes, more bookmarks for me to make use of, because some of these that I've already used are lost somewhere in the current books, or in the books that I was using, or probably my husband is making use of one of those. He's also reading Powerless right now, but he paused actually to read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So, okay, let's get back to work so that I can then continue on reading this. Okay, so this is charged and I'm hoping that you guys can hear me better. I'm just gonna put that in there. So, we're now into chapter 4 of the book. And yes, as you can see, my TBR stack is right here. There's more over there, but these are the ones I am hoping to read within this month of December. Okay, so now he's like really involved. He's helping her kind of fix the house. And he's trying to look away because Kira is starting to snuggle his dogs and he would not like to see that. Temptation at its best. He says, He would have insisted on helping even if Kira had been an old man or a nun or anyone really, although maybe he wouldn't have been quite as eager about it. Come on, who are you fooling? Moving over here to the recliner so that I can get a little bit more comfy reading this. This is why I like having recliners. I can lie down and read. So it has been said in the book. She'd been Grinchy, the Grinchy character above Dream Harbor for nearly 3 months now, and she had nothing to show for it. So she could be the Grinch who ends up loving Christmas at the end. My hair is starting to get into a mess. They're at this point where they are like in a Christmas festival area, and there is a place there where they're getting stroop waffles, and it's making me want a waffle right now too. What is it with this sort of influence? Like when I'm watching somebody eat, I kind of want to eat what they want as well. When it's food, you know, I'm easily influenced. Ooh, sticky caramel that oozed out on the sides. Damn, I want. A classic. So she was eating, and then, you know, she had a little something something. The guy reaches out and goes, fuzzy, fuzzy feelings starting to form. Okay, so there's another social handle. My Christmas Tree Dreams. Let's take a look. Oh, it exists, but there's 90 followers, and it's a private account. Laurie Gilmore, is this yours? Did you create this? If so, why is it private? I swear, this local book club here at Dream Harbor is getting everybody riled up sexually because of their very interesting book choices for the book reads for the group. Now, even Bennett, who is not really a resident in Dream Harbor, he's getting into it. So we went out and we just came back. We had early dinner out, then we headed for Miniso, and then Rob and sisters came back. Well, honestly, I was asleep for the most and was just staying inside the car after our early dinner. But there were a few things that I definitely did want to get. So the husband was the one who went down to purchase these things. So let's take a look at what we got from Miniso. Just a little haul, if you will. So I got these adhesive, basically sticky boobs from Miniso. They're actually really good. I had one already, but I decided to get another because a lizard fell in the first one I had. And it just hasn't been the same since. So, and also for maybe hygienic purposes. Because, you know, I don't know how you can clean these as well other than when you're soaping the surface of it and leaving it out to dry. And a lizard can be pretty dirty. And then, similar to what I already have on my recliner, I got another blanket, the one-piece blanket. I really like this because you can put it up like this. It's like a little bag. So it can be used as a pillow. This is gonna go straight in the car. This is for traveling so that at least I or the kids have a blankie on hand for when somebody is feeling chilly during our rides or when we're traveling. So this is going to be especially handy because we're planning to go to Cebu very soon. So at least we have that. Those were really everything from Miniso. And then we headed to Starbucks. I have been really enjoying this. This is, I don't know what this is called. Strawberry acai with lemonade. There was a certain night where I felt like I needed something kind of sweet If you're familiar with the candy that pops in your mouth, yes, that. I like that, the strawberry flavor of that, and this tastes very similar to that. And I like. And also, we're collecting the Starbucks stickers now. If you know, you know. I think I'm still going to decide to get the journal. I haven't actually seen the Starbucks journal. If it still has like the cover around it or the encasing, whatever you call it, the sleeve, that would be so cool. If not, then maybe I'll settle for the tumbler. All right, so book update. Let's see where I am. While we were out, I was also reading every now and then, like before the food would arrive. Definitely not reading while the car was moving. Also a little difficult. So I'm currently now at around page 140 out of 300 something, at chapter 12 of the book. So we're at this point where she's even thinking of, she was being teased by Iris. Iris, by the way, is her worker in the Christmas tree farm, about her not knowing how to skate. She kind of has started to ease in to Bennett a little bit more. She has even given him the go signal that if he wanted to walk his dogs around the Christmas tree farm, that she wouldn't shoo him away. So they're getting there. They're getting there. We'll continue to read on and see where we get ourselves. I switched back to these headphones. My JBLs are causing me to itch in my ears now. And now that I've switched back, this is actually lighter. And I like that it's cloth. I can easily clean it versus this. So I like the noise canceling of this, but I don't think I have really a need for it to be too much noise canceling unless I have like meetings from somewhere else. So probably this is something that's just gonna stay in my bag, but I think I'm gonna go back to using this. This is the Logitech, and then this is the JBL. It is like 1:53 in the morning, almost 2 in the morning. I think if there's one thing that is the most tiring thing in terms of work is meetings, especially back-to-back nonstop meetings. That was redundant, but yes. Odd how just being present in a certain virtual meeting sucks the life out of you. So I'm trying to digress before bedtime. So I'm gonna continue reading the book before we head to bed. Okay, so here comes Bennett the skate guy, ice skating guy, to the rescue. Because Kira is not great at ice skating, and apparently Bennett is. She asks if she needs help. Of course she says no. Just like how she didn't need help lugging those Christmas trees to these old people's car, even though she really needed the help, and he did help her. So, I love Iris. Iris, again, is their employee. And I'll read this line. Iris smiled at Bennett as she leisurely skated backwards because Iris is good at skating, somehow avoiding other skaters and the wall. I'm sure Bennett will keep track of your ass. That's because Kira said that if she stays off her ass, it's a success. Well, somebody's watching it for her. Okay. So Kira and Bennett were skating, and then a hockey puck hit them and they both fell. And so she could not stand up on her own. It's not like she's really hurt badly. However, skating was never her thing. Now she's falling down, doesn't want to get up. So Bennett carries her. And he carries her, tries to get out, and he has thoughts in his mind, thinking that, oh, I shouldn't really do anything with this girl because she's just like all the others. He's not even staying there. He doesn't live in Dream Harbor. And he's just giving himself a lot of reasons why he shouldn't be with her. And then, and he needed to remember that, even as she leaned forward and pressed a kiss to his cheek. Okay, Kira. And then she says, thanks for rescuing me. she said, her voice light and teasing in his ear. I hope it was good for you. Girl, what you doing? And Bennett, what are you doing? Immediately after that, he did say it was good for him, and then he said, I have to go. She's like, oh. And he just says, see you around, Kira. Right, see you around, Bennett. Now we're in chapter 13. Also, I wanted to share that I did create a club in Fable, a little book club. I call it Milkfist Cozy Corner Book Nook. So if you're interested to share your thoughts as I read books that I'm also reading, which I will always usually be posting on Instagram, Threads, or on the website, you're more than welcome to come and join. I'll have the link down below as well if you want to join. So yes, as I'm reading this, I'm also making updates in chapters in the Fable book club. Yes, I just had to comment what Kira did and what Bennett did too. Okay, like Bennett is kind of feeling withdrawn, or he's forcing it upon himself. So he went walking around and she spotted him. They talked for a little bit and he kind of wants to go away, but at the same time he doesn't want to. But he's starting to be a little bit petty because he said things like, okay, because he's about to leave, and he said, good, and if you need anything, she says, yeah. He then said, call Logan, he has a plow. And she's like, Logan, what the hell, in her mind. Pouty Bennett. I mean, I think I can understand, because he doesn't want his heart to get broken. So he's trying to distance himself. But he's having a really hard time doing that. It must be nice to be in a town where everybody knows everybody, to the point that, just like what happened, the book club came to the Christmas tree farm and Bennett was there, right? They decided to get a tree, and because Bennett was bringing his dogs and decided that he'll stay a little longer and help the old barn area, kind of wants to shovel it for Kira without her even knowing, because he thinks she might not be able to know how. So he asks the book club people if they could drive his dogs back to Logan's place where his sister is at. Like, how convenient is that? You could trust these people you don't even really completely know to do these things for you, and trust that they will. Maybe I want to move to Dream Harbor. Okay, Kira is being a little bit more bold now. So he goes to her and basically just says, hey, here's a shovel or whatever. And realizes basically the conversation can end. And he's like, I should go. And she's like, you can't go. And so here's the dialogue. You can't go. I really should. He gave her a grim smile. You don't need me here. So? He raised his eyebrows. What do you mean, so? So what if I don't need you? What if I just want you to stay? You want me to stay? Our Kira girl is starting to become a little bolder. He's trying to refuse, and Kira huffed and said, you're getting snow in my house. At least come in and have this decision-making crisis inside. You go, girl. Yeah, she's forced to be reckoned with. She literally asked him, okay, take your pants off. And he's like, take my what? Take your pants off. They're wet. Let me throw them in the dryer. Okay, we're taking a turn here where things start to get a little bit spicy. And can I just say, I know that this is simple writing. However, it's a little funny how this was described. I'll just read it. His voice was gruffer than he'd meant it to be, but he'd spent the morning with Kira curled around him, her breast against his arm and her legs nudging his cock. And he just needed to know which way this day was headed. So yeah, she said, let's get lunch. And he said, wait, puts her on the sofa and attempts to kiss her. It's happening. And she allowed it. Her statement, she literally says in her mind, holy crap, okay, so nice guys could kiss. Shocker. Okay, from things getting really heated, it suddenly got tense. As they were making out, Ben kind of wanted to compliment her, but then she didn't want it. And she was like, you really want to get to know me? And she starts spouting things, basically resenting herself. Heat to tension, not good kind. Okay, after I guess she's spouting and just telling everything of her frustrations, they go back to being a little bit more romantic with each other. I'll end it up before I start chapter 17. I think I'm already halfway based on what I see here. I'm gonna get some other things done and then probably head to bed. So we'll finish this tomorrow. Hello there, it is the next day. I have not touched this just yet. I woke up very late. You want a gummy? Okay, my daughter's asking for her vitamin gummies. So I am going to breeze through this. I pretty much expect things to go really fast now from here on after how it escalated yesterday. So let's just get into it. Right, chapter 17. Here we go. Okay, the storm is coming in hard. Oh, and remember, Kira and Bennett are in Kira's place. And according to the book, this was a shut the roads down, stay indoors, and pray the power stayed on snow because of the storm. So they're going to be in together for a while. Okay, so at least this is what I appreciate in terms of just adult romance versus giddy teenage romance. Is at least we go straight to the point because somebody was buzzing Bennett's phone and it was his past mistake. And at least you just went straight through it. You're not married, right? Or engaged or a girlfriend that I don't know that you have back at home or things like that. And at least he was like not engaged, no girlfriend. And he was like, so it's a bad decision calling you. So at least it's just cut through that. No further length of the drama because we all know pretty much how that goes, especially when you're already this age in your 30s. Whew, okay, chapter 18. Living room into a bedroom and things just get real heated real quick. I mean, like I said, we knew this was coming. No pun intended. So we're at the part of the story where they are in the attic. So I don't know if I've mentioned this, and I will probably revisit what I was filming, but Bennett was tasked to go to Kira when they had the town hall very early on in the story. And it's because they suspect that there might be a dead body somewhere in there. So that was his excuse, one of the excuses for him to be able to go back to Kira after the first time he met her. And now that they're at the attic, after being together and they're still stuck there at the house, they start looking around and they see a lot of odd things in there. And creepily, a lot of these like elf things, old dolls. So that's where they're at right now. And so because they specifically wanted to go there, Kira wanted to go there to find any Christmas ornaments because Bennett was so nice enough to cut her down a Christmas tree so that she could have one in her home. And now it needed some Christmas decorations. So they're at the attic, they're looking for some, they finally spot it, and then she was like, well, glad we didn't find any skeletons. Well, that's what Bennett said, and she just said, we didn't open all the boxes. So, let's see what they find. Oh, but they suddenly find old letters. Oh, they're old love letters. So they found the letters right, and Bennett was like, it's very cool. It makes me sad that we won't have anything like this because he meant our generation. No one will find their grandmother's old letters anymore unless people are printing out their DMs. I'm still an old-fashioned girl, at least. I subscribe to handwritten letters. I even just got one in the mail. Oh, they're dirty letters. So it seems the old owner of the house, Edwin, was likely in Vietnam. That's why he was writing letters to his wife, Ellen. Dirty letters. All right, based on all this, they're like, I think it's safe to assume Eddie didn't kill Ellen. That's what the townsfolk would have thought. Well, they found Christmas ornaments and they solved the mystery. The mystery of whether Eddie killed his wife or not. They were about to have another makeout session, but then Logan never ran out of gas, so he arrived. And so he must leave. The snowstorm was officially over. Okay, so again, Bennett is leaving right after New Year's, and a week before Christmas, Bennett had sort of moved in and had kind of been helping her run the place since the snowstorm, and it was all terribly bad idea. And yet there they are. Oh. Okay, I think this is where it's going. So they kind of agreed that, okay, this is going to be a holiday thing because Bennett is leaving. So, and she was okay with the fact that she's going to be the one who's going to get heartbroken after this, at least for the most, because they both agreed to this. And that at the end of this, he has to go home. Okay, so that's their agreement. She specifically said, you have to go home after New Year's. And he said, yes. But because he kind of moved in for a while, so he came out of the little cabin down the steps and put an arm around her. Ready to head home, is what he said. Home, together, she was in so deep. Yep, that's what she said. Okay, I thought I was gonna talk to you guys after it's done, but they did a Secret Santa after dinner, and it looks like when it was Logan's turn, apparently Ginny was the one who got his name, and she got wedding band, so they weren't fiancé yet. So I thought I remember right. Looks like they are now. After Christmas, things were well, and then she kind of pushed him away because she was scared, and he basically confessed that if she asked him, he would stay and things like that. It's annoying how he can't just, he's an adult, he can make a decision, right? But no, I guess he's trying to respect her wishes, even though he clearly knows that's not exactly what she wants. So the next, he ends up just staying with in Ginny's place in her apartment because she is staying with Logan. Ginny's staying with Logan. And the next day, he decides to leave early. And so he does. And 2 days after Christmas, Kira goes to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and finds Ginny at the counter and was hoping to speak with Bennett. And then she tells her he actually already left. And she was like, oh, no, in her mind. But that's where they are now. She's considering texting him. And now the story flips to him now back in San Francisco. He's in at his apartment. And guess who knocks at the door? Of course, his terrible mistake, Nicole. That's the name of the woman. And she's there, and he's like, this shouldn't happen. Or, he also confessed to her because he's kind of pissed at this moment why she's there. And she's kind of egging him on, and it makes him say things like, the only reason why he moved, what was because of her, and what is this? Aren't we friends? And then she says, friends with benefits. That's not really what he wanted, but that's not what he wants anymore also. So, yeah. And it's either I'm going to get really annoyed reading on if he allows himself, because of what he's feeling right now. He feels sad, he's vulnerable, and if he allows himself to get back into this habit, or does he realize things and move on? So we shall see. Okay. Okay, Bennett coming through. He says, I don't think I can do that anymore. Like, be there for Nicole. The audacity of this girl. She says, I never meant for you to wait around, Ben. I thought we had an arrangement. Like I said, friends with benefits and all that. And the woman's like, what if I want more? Maybe I do. Maybe I don't want to lose you. I can try harder to be what you want. She's just probably scared that her backup, it won't be a backup anymore. He said he wants to move on. So that's it for them. Okay, so after that, it's now the end of January. We're now back in Kira's place at the farm. She got a dog. A pit bull rescue dog, and named him Benny. She got a new boiler. She's not freezing to death anymore. Kira is settling in nicely in Dream Harbor, taking up yoga, joining the book club, and all that. Nice. I'm happy for her. She mailed somebody. She mailed a he, wondering if it's to Bennett. Likely so, though. Okay, she did mail Bennett. And she's anxious, hoping if it arrived. The letter, it's written down here what her letter was, and this line, you are everything I didn't know I wanted. He came back. Her dog, Benny, was barking because there were 3 other dogs outside. And of course, we know who those dogs belong to. So the dogs led her to the tree beside the cabin where there were letters tied to it. They were from Ben. There are lots of letters. So she started opening one and the next and the next. Oh, and the last letter. She's been saying, where are you? Every after she reads a letter. And then finally she says, Bennett. And he says, hey, Peaches. Peaches is his nickname for her. He introduced her dog to him. This is Benny. His eyes widened in delight. Kira, did you name your dog after me? No, of course not. The dog came with the name when she got him. But she said, but I did sort of pick him because of it. So the final chapter ends with them, of course, in bed, moaning and groaning. Now we read the epilogue. So there was treasure in this house. As Ben was going around, they hit something hard and he pulled out a letter with something in it. And the letter says, to whoever finds this box, you're lucky I didn't want my greedy cousin to get his hands on this, so I guess it's yours now. I can only hope you have someone worth giving it to. Good people are hard to find, so if you have one, be sure not to let them go. Don't screw it up, Edwin. And Ben's responds with, I don't plan to, Ed. There's a pearl necklace, some bracelets, and diamond earrings. You're gonna cash it in, and then so that she could do whatever the things that she wanted to do for the farm. So that is that for the Christmas tree farm. I'm happy I got to do it in a span of 2 days. So it's a simplistic, very predictable type of story. Nothing too crazy, all romance feels. If you were watching a movie, this is like a Hallmark type movie stuff. So a very good read for the beginning of December. But I can't wait to start reading my next book, which is going to be Blood Over Brighthaven. Is going to be my next. Ta-da! So yeah, thank you so much. If you watched all the way here to the end, I hope you enjoyed my little bit of narrations here and there as I was reading this book. I did have fun reading it, even though you can kind of expect where things were going here. But romance is one of those things that it is predictable because there can only go one of two ways, right? In terms of romance, especially something like this. But it's nice to get in the feels. That's pretty much why we read. We want to experience things from somebody else's point of view or from somebody else writing it. So if you want to feel romancy-ness, Christmas spirit-ish, Christmas Tree Farm would be good. If you enjoyed watching this type of vlog, please let me know. I think this is one of the kinds of content that I would like to create. Long form style here for YouTube. So I will still share things like on Instagram and Threads for the most. But long form content, I think book vlogs would be very nice to do. Again, thank you so much for being here and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!